Hey people, hold on, let's make me bigger to start with. How are we going? Right, let's have a look at this as one of the popular discussion points that we've had this week. Children who are raised by a stay-at-home parent have a better chance of success in life. Thoughts? Let's have a look at what some of the parents are saying. Just before we do, if you haven't jumped on and done my free week for kids in self-defense programs, links in the chat, jump on, do that. Right, let's get into the discussion. Yes, but sometimes it can't happen, and that's true, right? So a couple of key things with this statement here that I think are really, really important and will probably be missed. So you have to define what success is and what it means. That's really important because that's going to look different person to person. Of course, there's times where you're not going to be able to be at home, and look, that's just the way it goes sometimes. So you need to then work around that in the best way, shape, or form, using the behaviors that are going to create that success for your child in the best way you possibly can. That's all it is. I don't think so. I feel parents would need to spend quality time. I agree with this. Be it playing, teaching, even setting rules with kids. Tell motivational stories. On that point, I'm going to do a shameless plug of my 2 children's books that are, of course, absolutely brilliant. And if you want to get them for your kids, to get them some, hold on, I'm commenting on the wrong one. Bang, I'm going to chuck them in there. So jump over to Amazon and get yourself a copy of those. They are really cool. The rescue adventure is about me and my dog, and my dog's puppies got stolen. We go on a journey to save him. It's a similar theme as to what I use in my Yellow Belt program that I do for kids, which you can find out more about. Just do that free week with your kids first, and then the Yellow Belt link will come in through that series of videos. The books, though, so that's the first one, and then the one I really love doing the short adventures. So I did them shorter, and my idea behind that was to try and do it sort of like Pokemon, right? Because I really liked Pokemon as a kid, and I'd love to create a TV series with this one day, along the same sort of themes. But we go through and you're experiencing a lot of different challenges and obstacles that we have to overcome. It shows values of persistence. It shows training, shows hard work, shows teamwork. A lot of really good values. But one of the things I love about it is the last story I did, and it's a sad one. We sort of look at handling death. With everything I do, I want it to be as much as possible a reflection of what life actually is like. And sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's not nice. Sometimes it's very tough and you don't understand why things are happening. So I put the death experience in there, which was really difficult for me to write, actually. It was tough because I'm quite emotionally attached to the thing that was dying, which I won't give it away. You can go and check that out in the book. But there's no positive resolution to it. It's just sad. And sometimes life is, and that's okay. I think exposing kids to that and having them understand that in safe ways is really beneficial, because not every day is amazing. And in the incredibly fake world that these children are growing up in, they're going to be bombarded with all the social stuff and highlight reel things, which gives the illusion that everyone's life is amazing. But you only need to look at the facts: anxiety, depression, mental health, all trends moving in the wrong direction, bad direction. Suicide rates, same, moving in the wrong direction. These are not good things, but that's the reality, because so many people are so disillusioned. And I think if you just accept it, some days are crap, some weeks even are just bad, and you don't necessarily know why, and that's okay. I think that's a really important message to teach kids, and that's sort of what that last story and that is about. But we go through a lot of the other things as well. So, yeah, check them out. Anyways, let's go back to the comments. Being the example, so whatever you're doing, set the example for whatever success is to you. I ideally sort of live with it. Now, I don't agree with this next comment where you're talking about moving away from individualism. I actually think individualism is really positive. Collectivism is atrocious, really bad, leads to loss of identity for kids. And that's one of the most confusing things kids can go through. And it's horrible for mental health when you don't have an identity because it's destroyed by the collective. My opinion. Uh, the rest of the sentiment in this comment, I agree with. Kids need to be surrounded and loved and supported by a community of people. Very true. But they still need to be an individual, right? And they need to understand that. And when individuals come together and create a team, this is a great thing. But they have to keep their own individual identities. That, to me, is just really, really important. Positive supporting connections, greater chance of success. I don't agree with that either. I think the more focus they have on being an individual, their own individual strengths, and pursuing those, it's much more beneficial than someone going around trying to be someone who helps everyone and doesn't even know how to help himself. Like, for me, that's a bit ridiculous. Not necessarily a child whose needs are met in a most loving way and bonds are well formed with their parents' carer, especially between the ages of 0 and 5 years, have a greater chance of success in life. Brilliantly said. I agree with the first commentator. I think when a parent is able to be home, you eliminate the latchkey kids arriving home by themselves. And a parent at home should automatically be more involved, although that isn't necessarily true. Very, very true. As a high school teacher, I think a big problem is parents being engaged with their kids. You can just say that as a human being. You don't have to have any job or role. If you're there with your kids and all you're doing is being on your phone or you're just pushing them aside, don't talk to me, that's not a great thing. There are times where they need to move aside and you have things to get done, of course. But super important when you're having that time with your kids, you're actually engaged. So sometimes being a stay-at-home parent, if you get to the point where you're just sick of the kids and you're not handling it, it's probably actually going to be a net negative for the kids. If you can do it in a way where you're showing up as your best version, you're really engaged with them, I think that's a massive positive, and it's not valued enough, in my opinion. So much of the talk these days is about going out and chasing the career, women's empowerment, and I'm all for it if that's actually what you want to do. But I think one of the most incredible things you can do as a woman or a man is to have kids and raise a family. And and to stay home and actually you raise them, not have them and then push them into a system and hope it does a good job. I don't agree with that approach. I think if you have them, then ideally you want to raise them in the way that you think's best. That's just my thoughts. If you don't agree with me, tell me. I'm very, very interested to have these discussions because they're interesting. I get interesting perspectives, interesting points of view. And then she goes into a bit of an anecdote here. But yeah, look, that was just some of the brief things that we looked at in relation to this topic. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you haven't done that free week, bang, get that link, jump on, get your kids to do that free week, and get those books as well because they're cool. And then tell me what you think. If you don't like them, tell me that as well. But I think you will like them. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I was late. Apologise for that. But yeah, jump on, grab that free course, just chuck your email in or send it all straight out. If you want the kids to do the paid ones, those links are going to be in there. But just drop a comment, let me know. I want the link straight for the paid one. Boom, let's do it. You want to see those results? Awesome. If not, that's cool. Right. See you later.